viewers, welcome to another episode of In a Week. I'm your host Sohaim. We're going to do a book review today, and I'm going to cover 3 books in this book review. And the books are Motions and Moments, Beauty and Chaos, and the third book is Tokyo's Mystery Deepens. They're all written by the same author. His name is Michael Pronko. And during the review, I will explain to you guys why I chose to put all these 3 books in this review all together. So now let's get into the book review.
Now, before I start the book review, I think it's a very important question to ask what made me buy these books. And the answer to that question is that I wanted to learn everything about Tokyo from the experience and eyes of a foreigner, or gaijin as a foreigner is called in Japanese, who have lived, worked, and experienced life in Tokyo. So I searched online to find out if such an author exists who is living in Tokyo now and has written books about life in Tokyo from different angles and cover different topics. Luckily, my search proved to be a total success, and I came across the name of Michael Pronko. The books I am covering in this review perfectly fit the profile of knowledge I was looking for in a book covering life in Tokyo. Michael Pronko is a Tokyo-based writer. His writings about life in Tokyo and his character-driven mysteries have won awards and 5-star reviews. During his 20 years in Japan, he has written about Japanese culture, art, society, and politics for Newsweek Japan, the Japan Times, and Artscape Japan. He has read his essays on NHK TV and has done programs for Nippon Television based on his writings. He's a philosophy major, and he settled in Tokyo as a professor of American literature at Meiji Gakuin University, and his seminars focus on contemporary novels, short stories, and film adaptations. In Michael Pronko's own words, he said, "All of my books are set in Tokyo, a city I have become addicted to for its size, sweep, and speed. It is an amazing place to experience on a daily basis, to try to get hold of. I am still overwhelmed by it at times, maybe most of the time, but writing about Tokyo in both fiction and non-fiction is one way to understand the place and to understand myself too." Now, I will admit that this is a bit different book review than my previous book reviews. It is a review of 3 books all together in one video. The reason I have done one review is because these books are written by the same author on the same subject using the same style of writing. What differs in each book are the subtopics. The general topic that each book covers is life in Tokyo. According to Michael Pronko, who's the author of all these books, the essays in the book Tokyo's Mystery Deepens were mostly published first in Newsweek Japan in Japanese and were collected together in a single volume in the year 2009 and later in a form of a book available to read in English. Similarly, his second collection of essays in his book Tokyo, Beauty and Chaos were first released in the Japanese language in 2006 and later in English in 2014. The essays in his third book, Motions and Moments, were first published in Newsweek Japan in Japanese, and some were written in English for his website. Later, all his essays were rewritten in English in their current version covered in the book. So Michael Pronko's first audiences were the Japanese people. The successive number of his books demonstrated his popularity and approval of his writings among the Japanese people. Now, this for me is a sign of an approval from the Japanese audiences about the content of these essays and the validity of the information presented. The essays in these books span anywhere from 2 to 5 pages per essay, which is quite easy and manageable for a reader to read. Even in this short length, these essays cover a great deal of information and experience on the topics covered on Tokyo.
Now, one of the things I love about Michael Pronko's books, and it's actually in all three of the books that I have mentioned in my review, is that he has made a very good glossary for the readers, because there are words in Japanese that he mentions and there's an explanation to what those words are. So if you come across those words inside the essay, you can go and refer to the glossary and you would know what they are.
And here's the example of how the glossary looks like in the book. In Motions and Moments, Michael covers anything from Tokyoites' self-expression of wearing slogan t-shirts to congestion on Chuo subway line and public discipline in keeping within their space. In Beauty and Chaos, he covers anything from takuhaibin delivery service to Christmas time in Tokyo. And in Tokyo's Mystery Deepens, he covers anything from forgotten urban spaces in Tokyo to heat in summertime in Tokyo. These are just a few examples of essays from these three wonderful books on life in Tokyo. I don't want to give away all the topics because the point of this review is to encourage you guys to go ahead and read yourself. There are so many topics in each of these books that every time I finished an essay, I came across another unique topic. What really impressed me was the writing style of Michael Pronko. I have seldom read memoirs where author has transported me to envision the very experience the author themselves experienced. When I read Michael's essays on Tokyo in these books, not only did I learn a great deal about Tokyo, but I actually felt his experience as if I was transported to Tokyo myself. After reading Michael's books, I found out that there are so many similarities and at the same time so many differences between life in New York City and the one in Tokyo. In New York City, I always love a good subway read, and all these three books are my favorite. In fact, I reserved reading these three books on my subway rides to and from work. When my stop arrived and I had to close the book, I was anxious to continue reading it the next day. However, reading them once won't stop me from rereading them on my subway rides again. I can never get bored of Michael Pronko's essays on life in Tokyo. Now, these books brought a great joy and knowledge to me. I think they will do the same for the viewers. In the end, I will just say thanks to Michael Pronko for these wonderful works.
If you like the content, please subscribe, like the video, and comment below. Help the channel grow. Thank you for watching in a week.